what are some of the interventions that you guys have done to increase kind of the safety and stability of our train system?
Okay, so let me take it from two angles. The first one is securing our assets, our infrastructure and so forth, because you talk about the decimation that we have seen. And one of the things that we did up front to underpin our recovery and rebuild program, we had to make sure we've got a security strategy and plan that will ensure we don't have a repeat of what we have seen. So we've got an integrated security strategy that we've rolled out. Yes, it does come at a cost.
Sure.
Phase one was to increase the physical presence,
right?
Boots on the ground. That was phase one, and we're still in that phase, but we are starting to move into phase two. You see elements of it coming already, and that's the introduction of technology into the security space. So protection of our assets has been critical. Some of the technology we've rolled out at our depots around the country is state-of-the-art technology, in fact. We've built our fences, our walling with a CCTV, not only that, with seismic detection cable so that any intrusion picks up and it alerts. So in us being proactive rather than reactive with our security. And these systems are now being showcased around the world. So we are not only following trends, we're also leading in terms of technology within the rail space. So that's some of the technology that we are rolling out, including drone technology, to improve on that. And then there's the very important aspect of personal safety that you are referring to. Like I've mentioned, at our stations, on the trains, you will see an increased physical presence that we do have. We've rolled out cameras around our various infrastructure around that. And we've also brought in some new practices, whether it's on the trains or at our stations. Not everyone is always happy. So, for example, if you are on our new trains, things like no eating and stuff like that, or preaching and things. But we've done some of these things.
No preaching.
So we've had some backlash on that. But I'm saying these things because in the peak period, the trains are very full.
Yes.
And to move around, I mean, these trains can take up to 2,400 people, but that is crush loading. I mean, that's not comfortable. You are virtually 9 people within a square meter.
Right.
But there are some of these things. But these decisions were informed. It's not that we were just taking these decisions sort of willy-nilly. We've looked at and we've done customer surveys around that. And overwhelmingly, the response we have got from our customers, they actually support the fact that we don't have eating in the trains because the trains are always clean.
Yeah. And is it working, the no eating?
Yes.
The first time I did Gautrain, I went on, I started eating, the security came to me and I was typical. I said, I'm going to report this. And he said, you can't eat, put the food away. Yeah. And I love it, right? Because now I appreciate the ability to go into a train that's clean, right? And someone's just changing behavior, mentality, right?
Yeah. It does take a bit of that. It takes a bit of time. We're doing the proper consultation and engagement around that. Like I'm saying, there's a little bit of pushback here and there. Sure. But overall, the majority has seen the benefit of this. They support the fact that we've got some of these rules that we have in place. And like I said, overwhelmingly, whether it's on the eating. And again, let me just, I mean, if there's medical emergencies, obviously you can have your water, your medication and so forth. I mean, that is not restricted. But the knock-on effects about the quality of the service and what that we're offering is very important.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
If you want to produce.
So I want to maybe change focus a little bit. I run a chain, media, sport, entertainment. So I always get invited to sporting events, Springbok games and derby matches, and I always say no to those things because getting there's a pain, right? And so one of the soccer clubs have said to me, but in the World Cup, you took the whole month. You went to every stadium. You painted your face. You were all over the place. And I said, in those days, I was safe. I'm no more safe. And then a few weeks ago, I wasn't there at the stadium. I just saw lots of Twitter feeds and excited fans and fans that typically I would not see on a PRASA train coming in and talking amazingly about PRASA. What informed that? Like, why did you guys get involved in that? Or how did you get involved in a rugby match and then later on an FNB stadium match?
So it was a collaborative effort.
Right.
We were approached by other partners as well. I mean, key was the Golden Lions Rugby Union. Right. Ellis Park that was hosting this test match that we're speaking of. But before I get into it, I just want to make the point that while it was an opportunity for us to showcase, the important thing was that was not a special service just for the day. That's a service we run every day.
Really?
So if you're going to see the security on the train that you saw that day, you're going to see them on any normal service. The one thing that's probably that was a bit different is we had a lot more of our staff with the lollipop showing the direction to go, because we knew we are going to have new users.
Sure, sure.
So to assist with the ushering the passengers and so forth. So as I've mentioned, the Golden Lions Rugby Union, City of Johannesburg, we all got together. I think for those that know the Ellis Park precinct, it's got its own challenges with parking,
Sure.
and the precinct itself of feeling safe and secure there. And they approached us if there was a possibility to run trains to Ellis Park. We've got a station at Ellis Park.
Right.
For those that will recall the 2010 FIFA World Cup, PRASA was a key mode of transport for the World Cup.
Yes.
At the time, we used Doornfontein Station, but this one we used Ellis Park. And the interesting thing was that our team managed to turn this thing around in 3 weeks, the PRASA
Really?
team.
Sure.
Making sure the station was ready, the precinct, the security, the cleanup of the area was there. We did a few dry runs with some of the dignitaries before the event to make sure that we are ready to go. And it was a collaborative event, as I've said, not only looking at the links with Gautrain into PRASA, looking at how we can have the luxury buses parking at Park Station, Johannesburg Station, and getting onto the trains. We also had the e-hailing services that connected with us at Park Station. So it was a completely integrated service that we offered. And on the day, I must say, without trying to be too forward, that PRASA was really the star on the day.
Yeah.
If you look at people were not expecting what they saw that day, the new trains that we had, the modern trains, the enthusiasm of the staff, welcoming nature of that, and also just being safe and secure in the environment. No incidents on the day. We were able to move on the day 18,000
Wow.
the passenger trips on the day. No other mode of transport. If you divide that by buses, you can just imagine, or even private vehicles, how many vehicles, how many buses you would have needed to move that many trips. So on the day, it made a massive difference.
So where would you catch the trains?
At Park Station.
Yeah.
So firstly, you could take Gautrain.
Okay, so take you to Park, and then from there.
You could get onto Gautrain from Pretoria, Sandton, the East Rand, and come to Park Station.
Right.
They've got their station there.
Yes.
It is integrated with our PRASA station.
Right.
So you would move from the Gautrain or from the buses onto our trains at Park Station, and it would take you 3 minutes to get to Ellis Park on our train.
Right.
And we ran a train every 15 minutes, and we ran it on the clock.